Oh. Ah. Let's see. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Anybody in here know what day it is? Friday? Saturday? Monday? What is it? Monday. Monday, okay, thanks. Where do the days go in the life of Torero? I have no idea. But we're back on the air and everywhere. It's the Jesse T Show. Live right here from Los Angeles, California on the beautiful Pacific Coast. And it's been raining a little bit for the last couple of days. Some light drizzle. It's been kind of getting fallish and winterish, and it's kind of cool. I like that a lot. Very much so. We got a busy phone in there going. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, okay. Yeah.
How'd you get that?
Got to hang it up like this. Watch. It's called hang up the phone. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yes, that's old technology right there.
Yeah, it is.
See, I got Lee.
How did you do that?
Because, well, look at. I'm the old technology guy, and Lee is the new technology guy. You see, he understands all the new stuff. I understand how to hang up the phone. That's about it.
How did you hear that? I didn't hear it.
I have ears like a possum. I have a brain like an eagle. I have eyes like a wolf. I have the smell like I haven't taken a bath in 2 weeks.
Like a goat.
Yes, that's right. The goat. And the goat is off the backs of the Cubs. The goat is over with. The goat, you don't know the goat story? Well, this guy, he hexed the Cubs 45 years ago. Actually, even longer than that, almost 100 years ago. He hexed the Cubs that they would never, ever, ever win the World Series or even get a chance to get in the World Series again. And they did it. They did it. They beat the Dodgers. So the GOAT is gone. So they're not carrying the GOAT around there. You know, it's interesting. The manager of the Cubs this go-round was the same manager of the Boston Red Sox when they got rid of their hex. So, you know, this guy's pretty good for the Cubbies. I think the Indians are going to win. I'm going to go with the Indians. You know, the indigenous Americans always prevail. Indigenous Americans never lose. That's right. So, you know, they're going to take on the Cubbies, the Indians and the Cubbies. It's a traditional World Series from some of the original teams that were ever in baseball. And no, it's not the Cubs, the Cowboys, and Clinton. Thank you very much. It's the Cubs and Cowboys and Clinton in your brain. In my brain, it's the Indians, okay? The Bears, okay, because I like the Bears. The Indians, the Bears, and Trump. That's right. So at least we're in the same town. You like the Cubs, and I like the Bears.
I like the Bears, but the Bears have no chance. The Bears are sucking right now, man.
They're going to turn it around. They better turn it around. I've been hoping for them to turn it around since Mike Ditka was the head coach.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's my second favorite team.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So anyway, there we go. All right, with that. Quit buzzing me. Now all of a sudden everybody's buzzing me. My goodness gracious. You know, that happens when you start doing something and then all of a sudden no one's been talking to you for a couple hours and they kind of figure out telepathically that you're busy and then they start calling you. So that's what's happening right now. You know, I think what's going on here is my camera is upside down. All right. So, all right. Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay. So yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, but I got to look down here, and I don't want to look down. So I'm gonna switch it here. All right, let's take care of some business here, and then we're gonna get off into the show here. ABTV Live, good to be with you on Facebook.com/Jesse Torero. So we're broadcasting live there on our digital TV network. That's a lot better. Yeah, that's a lot better. And then, okay. So there it is. Perfect. It'll catch up now. See, there we go. Yeah. All right. And then Facebook.com/The Power of Voices. Check us out there. Also on YouTube Live, The Power of Voices. And you can check us out on I Snapchat and Instagram afterwards as well. And check us out on UPeak and Stream Up and Bamboozle. And it proliferates out from there into a whole bunch of other places. But those are the main places that you can check us out. Or go to the website at www.thepowervoices.com or the website www.aventertainmentlive.com. But the easiest way of all is just to download the app, the free app. Just download it. Go ahead, put it on your smartphone. Come on now, go ahead, just put it right there, and then you can have access to us everywhere where we're at on this global radio network covering the world and on our TV digital network. Good to have you along here. We're on the air and everywhere. From the community to the world, it's the Jesse T Show, live at 5 from 5 to 6, Monday through Friday, as we kick off a brand new week and counting down the days to November 8th. And what a bunch of exciting times we're living in right now. And it's good to have you along as we enter the world according to Torero. Yeah, you're going to get straight on the point on a Monday afternoon, and it's good to have you along. First things first, though, we do have a big election coming up, and it's just not the national election, who you're going to vote for president and whatnot. Everybody who's listening to us, you got elections going on in your state and for your city enterprises and your state and local government, so there's lots of bills and propositions and lots of things going on around the country. Right here in California, where we reside, here in Los Angeles, we've got lots of very important things that we're voting on here on November 8th. Saying hi to Ricky Pickney Jr. Hey, what's up, brother? Yeah, you're up, man. How's your Ricky's getting his master's degree. Right on, man. That's right. Continue with that education. More education, more money, baby. That's right. Saying hi to Louis DeStefano. I like that. Louis DeStefano. What's up, buddy? Hey, Ricky says, hope you go to check out my daily philosophy on my page, life, relationships, and health. Yes, go check out Ricky's stuff. It's cool. And hey, let us know where you're chiming in from so that we can kind of give a shout out to you. If you got something going on, something cool happening, some event, something that you want to talk about that you're doing, you're welcome to check in with us. You can also give us a call at 424 227-9461. I remembered it. I haven't said it in quite a while. All right. 424-227-9461. And if you got something going on, let us know. We'll help you out. All right. So that's what we're all about, engaging each other and getting us all down the road in a more profitable and successful way with a smile on our faces. I'm going to talk about something now, though. I got to go over this because this is really important stuff for us here in California. It's called the Voters Pamphlet, and this is the little one. We have a huge one that's the size of a telephone book almost. It's about an inch thick. It's 222 pages of voter stuff for people to look at the size of this thing. My goodness, I the girls will go ooh ah. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, when you look at the size of this thing, see, look at this. I'll back off. See, this is the size that most things are, and this is a huge size. I mean, this is like, and the reason why I'm talking about size, there's a method to my madness here. Okay. In California, one of our propositions is we're going to vote on whether or not porno stars have to use condoms. Yes, that's right. There's a proposition that we're going to vote on as a citizenry whether porno stars have to use condoms. Well, I mean, is that like, does that take any brains? So look at the size of this thing. I mean, it's huge. I mean, wow. This is bigger than the one in The Godfather. Look at that. Wow. Right? That book is a lot bigger than that book. Right? Okay. So I'm going to tell you how I'm going to vote on that. But let's go over this real fast, okay? I'm not going to spend too much time on this. It's going to go real quick because I want to get through this real fast here. Of course, you have your own senator races and your House of Representative races where you're living. And you've got some different initiatives and propositions for your state. But for California here in Los Angeles, for those of us who are living in this beautiful paradise, it's got a little bit of rain going on for the next couple of days. You've got all the parties here, the Peace and Freedom Party, the Republican Party, Libertarian, Green, and Democratic Party. And, I'm voting for Donald Trump. Thank you very much, Donald Trump and Mr. Pence. Of course, Clinton is there, and Kaine is there as well. And then you have the other guys, and I'm not even going to talk about them because they're not going to win. That's right. All right, so the senator in our area here for the state of California, you have two picks. You have Loretta Sanchez, and you have Camelia Harris. Now, Loretta Sanchez was a United States Congresswoman. Camelia Harris is an attorney here in California, Attorney General of California. And so I'm voting for the one who's not an attorney. Thank you. Usually what I do on these things, the first requisite, the thing that I look at, the most important thing is if you're an attorney, you don't get my vote. That's it. I'm so sick and tired of attorneys running our country. They've screwed it all up for us. We need to get some business people in there. That's why I liked Trump. That's why I like him. I want some business people in there, some outside the beltway people. All right, United States Representative. In my area, there's a guy. I know this guy, Adam Schiff, and he's all right. But I'm going to go with Lenora Solis in my area of the San Fernando Valley. And the reason why I'm doing that is because she's a business owner. She's a businesswoman. And I think we need to have more representatives in Washington, D.C. that are business-minded, have a business kind of concept, because we are in some serious business trouble in this country. $20 trillion in debt, a couple $100 trillion in deferred debt almost. And Obama he doubled the debt, probably tripled the size of government, and we have a weaker military than we've ever had in 40 years. I mean, we got to do something. We got our infrastructure falling apart. We got immigrants coming over just this weekend. They stopped 7 terrorists, ISIS guys, from coming across the border from Corpus Christi, from Brownsville, Texas to Tijuana. They intercepted 7. They just found this huge underground cavernous tunnel system going from Tijuana into the San Ysidro, California area. It was the most massive one they've ever found. It's huge, and it's apparently been there for a lot of years. Right here. So, I don't care what anybody says. We do have an immigration problem. Otherwise, they wouldn't have any tunnels. Oh, they're not, come on. That's how they're bringing the drugs in. So we have some certain things that we need some business-minded people that have some constructive ideas on how to make money, not just how to spend it. Attorneys are real good at spending money. Attorneys really don't make money. They spend it. They spend your money and they spend their money, and they don't make any money on their own. They don't make any money unless they're getting the money from you that you're spending to hire them. They're not creating anything. They're not creating jobs. This is why I can't stand attorneys. I just can't stand them. I can't stand attorneys because they're attorneys. Now, we need them. Don't get me wrong. You got to have attorneys. But for the most part, attorneys in our government, that mixture right there just oozes corruption to me, because they're used to taking people's money. and not being accountable and responsible for it. Oh, Hillary Clinton is an attorney, disbarred too. Ah, and so is her husband. That's why I am voting for Lenora Solis for United States Representative in my area. And also, she's a Republican. Thank you very much. State Senator Michael Antonovich. I'm voting for Michael Antonovich. He was an LA County supervisor here for many, many, many decades and did a pretty good job in LA County. Really hard place. All these little independent cities kind of creating their own stuff. You know, you have your LA City, but then the surrounding area, all these little independent cities that have their own mayors, their own city councils, their own attorneys, the whole 9 yards. They have their own kind of rules and all the regulations and stuff. And to be a county supervisor is a pretty daunting kind of job. Saying hi to Rona Mona. I like that name. Rona Mona. There should be a song named after Rona Mona. We could probably come up with a good song. I think maybe I should write a song while I'm talking, and then I can sing you a song at the end of the show. Rona Mona. Yeah, I like that. I love you, she says. I love you. Hey. Wait, he's Ryan. Who are you? I know. Are you Dion? Is Ryan, and I love you so much. I have no idea what that means. It's some sort of secret code. You know, sometimes when we do stuff on comments and we chime in, sometimes they give us secret code words and we have to figure it out. Like me, my fingers are so fat that every time I write a text or something like this, it starts out pretty good. Like, let's say I'm talking about the weather, right? So I'll say, boy, the weather is hot on Sunday, and it's looking on Monday, a car. You know, that's kind of what happens. It's not my fault. It's my fat fingers' fault. See, I got fat fingers, and I can't get my fingers around those little things. I've always had fat fingers. I used to box a lot, too, so my fingers used to be even fatter. But it's terrible. So I send these messages to people, and they think I'm like, you know, I have a disability in the brain, right? They really do. What are you looking at me for? I don't have a disability in the brain. I'm getting this stared. I'm getting the stare down in here like I do have a disability in the brain.
You got that fixed.
Yeah, yes. Just like I got my singing fixed. Yes, that's right. And so anyhow, I don't know even how I got on that sidetrack, but that happens to me. You know, I get on these sidetracks. Okay. All right. So Michael Antonovich, member of the State Assembly of California. I just can't figure out whether I want Artie Kasakirian, city clerk, or Glendale City council person, Laura Friedman. I've left that blank. Hey, by the way, when you go to vote, if you're not sure on something and you haven't done your homework on these things, wherever you're at, just leave them blank. Just don't mark something in there. Because you may be saying no to something that you actually should be saying yes, that reflects more what you're looking for. You might be saying yes to something that actually reflects no. Okay, so don't just fill things out without you knowing. If you don't know the people, don't vote for them. Judicial people, I'm not going to go over to that too much on. Now, I'm not even going to go over that because that's not relevant at all to our area here. The county. Now, for the supervisor, when Antonovich leaves, Darrell Park I'm going to be voting for. But I want to get to these state measures. Okay, 51. 51 authorizes $9 billion in general obligation bonds to new construction on modernization of K through 12. Forget it. The California Lottery 30 years ago was created and sold to the public with the idea that 90% of the money of the California Lottery raised forever into perpetuity was supposed to go to schools. And it was supposed to go to K through 12 issues. And where is it? I mean, yeah, right? It's like every year we get these issues for bonds for more money for schools, but our schools don't get any better. They get worse here in California. They're not getting any better. They have billions and billions and billions of dollars. Oh, yes, but Jerry Brown, he's cool, right? Yeah, he he sends a little bit of money over to Frankenstein, Dianne Feinstein, and her husband, who's going to build the high-speed rail going to nowhere. Oh, that's $1.5 billion. So, where is the money going? All this money just gets, the voters say, oh, it's, K through 12. Oh, we got to take care of our kids. Right. They never get the money. They never get the money. So, no, for me, that's no. I'd rather walk up to the school and with the principal, somehow, some way, earmark money to them somehow, some way. This is why charter schools in California have tripled in the last 5 to 10 years. Just tripled. Because LAUSD and the other major school districts in the state of California can't do their books and manage the money we vote to give them. Sort of reminds you of Congress and the Senate and the president, huh? Okay, so no on 51. 52. I can't even read it. That's it. Hold on. Time out. I got to get my light. You see, I got to get some glasses. All right. This, I know, but I got to get bigger glasses. So I got to get some light. You see, like this? That's much better. Okay.
Hey, Stevie.
I'm Stevie. Right? Okay. All right. This 52 extends indefinitely an existing statute that imposes fees on hospitals to fund Medi-Cal health care and service. No. That's more money. They want more money. They always want more money in this state. More money. No. For me. You can vote differently. 53. Requires statewide voter approval before any revenue bonds can be issued or sold by the state for certain projects. Something? This is an interesting one because basically what this says, if in Los Angeles we want to raise $2 billion to build some new building or park system or any kind of infrastructure, any kind of building, the state has to approve it. Oh, great. So up there above San Francisco in wine country, they have to approve a $2 billion project down here in Los Angeles or San Diego. No. No, you don't get that right up there. Thank you. No. Okay, 54. Prohibits legislature from passing any bill unless published on the internet for 72 hours before vote. Absolutely yes on that. I want to know what's going on. I don't want this last minute out for New Year's, Christmas coming, people leaving, going home, and then they scoot something in because they have a quorum and they can vote on it. No. We have to have some knowledge. And with the internet and all the social sites, they can send that information out real easy. So yes on 54.
72 hours is not enough.
It isn't, but it's something. Right now, the way they got it is that they can just literally at the last minute, when everybody's on their way out the door, as long as they have a quorum. They have to have a quorum to be able to pass a vote. Okay? And we will never know about it. At least this is something. It's a start. It's the first time it's ever been like that. And notification in Barron's legal journal that nobody reads isn't going to happen. All right? So 55, tax extension. Okay, this is, anytime they say tax extensions, oh, God, that means they want more money. Extends by 12 years the temporary personal income tax increase enacted in 2012 on earnings over $250,000. So revenues allocated to K through 12. See, once again, what they want to do, the income tax that they've already taken from us, if you make $250,000 or more money, they're already taking money from us, okay, from those that make that, okay? They want to extend that for another 12 years. For me, that's no. Anytime the state wants to take my money, I don't care whether I'm making $25,000 or $250,000. $50,000 or $250 million. Anytime the state wants to take my money here in California, no, because the money just gets squandered away and nothing ever gets done unless there's a major emergency happening. Then something gets done. Like they rebuilt Oakland and rebuilt San Francisco after the earthquake in 94. They rebuilt the streets. They rebuilt. Nothing gets done unless there is a major emergency, and that's all federal money anyway. Tax money there. So you get taxed by the state, then taxed by the federal government to fix the bridges that collapsed? No. All right. State Measure 56 increases cigarette tax by $2 per pack. No. Let's get rid of the cigarette smokers. Smoke more cigarettes, please. Then we can get rid of you all. Okay? We don't have to worry about that. Just keep smoking. Puff away. Yeah, keep smoking, baby. Keep smoking. I'll buy you a couple cartons of cigarettes because you're so stupid. It's killing you. I mean, what's wrong? Come on, man. This is 2016. Stop smoking. And now they should, you know what they should do here? They should give you free cigarettes. That way we can get you off the books. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want them putting $2 tax on cigarettes. Cigarettes are expensive enough as it is. So I'm looking out for you, man. I mean, a carton of cigarettes today. I remember my mother used to send me to Bob's Market, and it's like when I was 12 years old, 11 years old, right? She'd do a couple things. She'd let me drive the car, and my dad didn't know, okay? Back streets to Bob's Market, only 10, 12 blocks away from the house, right? She'd let me drive the big, huge, giant Oldsmobile that we had, big green Oldsmobile, right? And she said, go to the store, talk to Doc. He owned the store, the neighborhoods. This is before supermarkets. And he said, talk to Doc. And he said, this is what I want. You got to get some bread, eggs, some milk, right? Get me I don't drink a lot of liquor. Liquor comes in pints and quarts, right? Pints and quarts, like vodka and gin. Pints and quarts, and it comes in even bigger denominations, right? What's a gallon? Texas. Okay, so what's like under a gallon?
Half a gallon.
Okay, half a gallon. Okay, so my mom would say, "Yeah, all right, thank you, thanks for the genius math there, thank you." Well, yeah, okay, be quiet, all right. God, I just get no respect at all, like Rodney Dangerfield. Okay. So, Ling Tang joined. Ling Tang. Ling Tang. I'm going to sing you a song, Ling Tang. I'm definitely singing Ling Tang a song. Okay? And Ling Tang kind of reminds me of orangutan. Right? Or what? Well, I'm not going to say that. Okay? I didn't say that. Okay, Ling Tang, you don't remind me of an orangutan, but your name has music to it. Ling Tang, my orangutan, right? Living with my beautiful thing, right? Okay. Ignacio, once again, another Jesse T show going right into the sewer. Ignacio Ortegon, Ignacio. Hey, Ignacio. I sold a house to a guy, Ignacio, and his wife about 25 years ago. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Cigarettes? Oh, my mother would send me to the market, Bob's Market, right? She was sending me to Bob's Market. Crazy, right? I'd be like 12 years old, driving the car the back way, right? And no problem. I get there to Bob's Market. She said, give me bread, milk, and eggs. Okay, I get that. Then she said, get your dad a half a gallon of vodka, right? Buy me some tampons and give me a carton of cigarettes. Now that's 11, 12 years old, right? And so I would go to, now check it out. This is 71. I'd go to the market. My mom would give me, I don't know, what did that cost? Maybe $6 or something at the most, all that stuff, whatever it was. I go to the market and I say, Doc, Mom wants me to get milk, eggs, and butter, and blah blah blah. And she wants me to pick up a half a gallon of vodka for my dad, and some Matus. My dad loved Matus too. And I got to get a carton of cigarettes. What did my mother smoke? She smoked at that time. I don't know what she smoked, but cigarettes were cigarettes, right? And then she needs tampons. I told you. Look it. Jesse T didn't become Jesse T just because Jesse T woke up someday and Jesse T is Jesse T. It took a long time for me to become Jesse T. Okay, there was a lot of training that went involved here in the young years of Jesse T. Okay, see, I got no shame. You got to understand that. I'm like a guy with no shame, right? I mean, so my mom. That's what I didn't know what that was. So I the paper bag. Ding, 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 ding. I drive home and give it all to my mom, and that'd be it. Now check it out. I'm buying cigarettes. I'm buying liquor. I'm driving illegally. And I'm buying my mom female hygiene products. Could you imagine Officer Murphy pulling me over from the Foothill Division in 1971? Hey, Jesse, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jesse? What do you got in the bag? I got a half a gallon of vodka, Matus. I got a carton of cigarettes. I got milk, eggs, and butter, right? And I have a bag of female hygiene products. Can you figure that one out? I mean, when you think about that imagery, now, would that happen today? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't eat the food. I didn't drink the Matus. And I didn't use the female hygiene product. So, I mean, I just brought it home. That's what I was told to do. Okay. I don't know how I got on that, but I did. All right. So, okay. I can't see without a light. Thank you. 57. Oh, this is the one. 57. This one I've been talking about. This is the one that makes violent criminals knocks their sentencing down in these crimes to non-violent crimes, which springs them earlier. It's retroactive, and this is a bad one. This is a Jerry Brown one. No. That's 57. No on 57. No on 57. No on 57. No on 57. Brian Connors, what's happening, buddy? Isaiah Pickett's in the house. Brian, how you doing, buddy? How's that stuff going on? Brian's a great playwright. He's a terrific director. He's like Mr. Commercial King. Brian Connors, he's like he has more commercials running now than I think anybody in the planet. The guy's got lots of commercials, and he's just a terrific guy, man. Great playwright. He's got a play called Oxymoron with Ed Asner and Mark Rydell. He's got several one-act plays. Just some terrific stuff going on. A couple of movie projects. Give those to me, Brian. I'll give you a plug. All right, and then you have to send me $14.92. Okay, 400 times. There's the caveat. All right. No on 57. 58. Preserves the requirement that public schools ensure students obtain English language proficiency. Well, gee whiz. It would be nice if everybody spoke English in a proficient manner. That would be a good thing, don't you think? It also provides the ability for some money to be set up so that our students can learn multiple languages. And, 10 years ago, I would have fought against this. I would have been totally against it. It would have been no. But today, I've changed my position on that. I think that people need to learn lots of languages because the globalists are forcing us into a multiculturalism society here in America, breaking down the American family, making us go in debt, weakening our military, allowing terrorists and immigration to come in, creating a debt that we'll never get out of, menial jobs at 3 times a week. We all better start speaking some other languages, and we better learn them. And I think the languages you should learn should be English, number 1, Spanish, number 2, and Mandarin Chinese. Number 3. And once you learn Spanish, you can learn French, you can learn Romanian, you can learn all of the Latin-based languages, okay? So that can really expand your ability. And since the world is going to be multicultural and globalist under one form of government and one form of income, probably at the end of my life, it'll all be here. And you better start speaking some other languages. All right? So I'm yes on 58. Number 59. Asks whether Californians elected officials should use their authority to propose and ratify an amendment to the federal Constitution overturning the United States Supreme Court's decisions in Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission. Thank you very much. The state, look it, I don't trust California politicians. All right, just let's leave the federal stuff the way it is. I'm no on that. If I trusted my California politicians and legislators a little bit better, I might be yes on that. But I just don't think they're looking out for our best interests in this state. I think they're looking out for their own interests first, and then maybe our interests, because our interests become their interests because they're living here. Okay, so I'm no on that one. Oh, yes, adult film stars, you got to wear condoms. Okay? Look, if you're listening to me and watching me right now and you are an adult film star, all right, hey, buddy, you got to wear a condom. Okay? Sorry. Right. Well, you know, the San Fernando Valley used to be the land of adult filmmaking. It was the adult filmmaking capital of the world, the San Fernando Valley. Chatsworth and Canoga Park. I, in fact, sold a Hustler magazine warehouse that converted into a studio and where they made all their porno. And they were moving out of that establishment and moving to Nevada. So I sold the building to another buyer who purchased it and turned it into a clothing kind of manufacturing, T-shirts and hats and that kind of stuff. Anyhow, the point is, at one time in the San Fernando Valley, that was in Canoga Park, when the aerospace industry left in the late 80s and the 90s, they had so many warehouses that were completely vacant. That's kind of what filled up the void, the X-rated porno industry. But now all of that has moved to Nevada. It's all moved to Nevada. It's not here anymore. But nevertheless, this is a good thing. Absolutely yes on that. State prescription drug purchases, 61 I voted yes on because this forces the state to buy the most inexpensive generic drugs and not the most expensive ones. 62, death penalty. No, they want to repeal the death penalty. Thank you very much. Off with their heads they go. I think we should have multi-choice death penalty. We should have by drug, by hanging, by firing squad, by gas chamber, and let's see what other ways we can kill the people that kill people. Let's figure that out. Yes, I'm a pro-death penalty guy. Thank you. So, no on 62. Those are one of those trick ones. Okay. 63 firearms. Hey, this one here talks about the state wanting to prohibit possession of large capacity ammunition magazines. No, you can't have my large capacity magazines. And I want more of them. Thank you very much. And I want to have the right to have that. You already limited it down to 10 rounds. You know, 10 rounds in an AR-15 is done in seconds? No, you can't have it. No. So for me, no on 63. 64. Yes, totally yes. 64 is yes. 64 is yes. This is the marijuana initiative. It makes recreational use in the state of California legal. Yes, absolutely. Yes. We're going to have a lot more DUIs, guys. We're going to have a lot more accidents and vehicular manslaughter. We're going to have a lot more tremendous, terrible, rotten accidents because there's going to be more impaired people on the highway, but we need the money. Yes, 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 yes. And prohibition across the states and the country is going to be lifted anyway. So as California goes, the rest of the nation will follow. Colorado and 2 other states already have it, and more coming on board. Over 30 states have medicinal use. We have it already here in California, and I'm for it all the way. Yes, 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 yes. Okay? Man, the courts need to make more money anyway. You know, when you get pulled over for a DUI, that's like $15,000 now to hire one of these attorneys to get you out and let you go to work and drive your car. It's like $15K on the first offense. $15,000. State's going to make a lot of money. A lot of money in that legal system. All right, so 64, yes. 65, carry out bags charges initiative. This redirects money. This is grocery bag stuff. They want the money that the grocery bag providers and markets, right? Yeah, they want to be able to take some of that money and force them to redirect that money to pay for the carry out bags. Now, go figure that one. Plastic or paper. So if you want paper bags, you got to pay for them. Well, the money that's already been collected over the last 10 years or so that this has been floating around the state, they want to be able to use that sum of money so that you don't have to pay for the paper bag. So I'm yes on that one. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay? Got no problem with that. Number 66, more death penalty stuff. This one is yes. 66 is yes on the death penalty. 62 is no. Here's the difference. It changes procedures governing state court, listen to me, challenges to death sentences, designates Superior Court for initial petitions and limits successive petitions. Look at, first off, if somebody gets the death penalty, with all the new scientific studies now and the DNA testing and all that stuff, we're not going to have as many mistakes that this country has had over the last 100 years. There's no doubt people have died innocently. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Absolutely. But with today's technology, we should change that. And it's going to change that. And it is changing it already. Many inmates who have spent many years and decades in prison on death row have been given their freedom. Okay? Because of the DNA, the science. And it's getting better and better and better. I think that every person in this country sitting on death row, anywhere in this country where it's allowed in the state, should have this DNA testing and reflections back on their case if DNA was part of the issue at all. Okay? So, short of that, we want to be able to, in terms of 66, what we want to do with 66, and the reason why I'm voting for yes on 66, is because this, once this doesn't allow people to have ongoing petitions, 20 years, 30 years, petitions after petitions after petitions. Now, if we have proper DNA testing and we have proper judicial process, and that's happening now in the lower courts, it's happening on these capital offense cases where the DNA comes into play, okay? And it almost seems like every case the DNA is coming into play on these very, very horrifying cases, okay? So once they connect the DNA to that being the real person, the assailant, the bad person that did that, then they shouldn't have 20 years on death row with appeals. We got to off them a lot quicker. That's it, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, yes on 66. Ban on single-use plastic bags. Yes. You know, look at the plastic bags goes down the drain in the city on the curbs, down the sewers, and out to the oceans. Right there where LAX International Airport is, Imperial Highway, the end of Imperial Highway, El Segundo, the city of El Segundo, which is the next city south of LAX, the airport, okay? Right there, there's a drainage pipe that goes out 5 miles, okay, underwater, okay? They dredged it, buried it under sand, and it pops out about 3 miles in pipe underwater. And that's where all the sewage goes. That's where all used to go. Now, there's now there's a processing plant right there at Imperial Highway and Dockweiler State Beach. There's a processing plant that's supposed to filter and clean all of that water coming down the sewer system before it goes through that last pipe out to the ocean. Okay? It doesn't catch everything. And that's just one. Up and down the state, Washington, Oregon, California, there are many things that get out there in the ocean, and the seals and the dolphins and the whales and the walruses, and they all get tangled up in these. The crabs, the lobsters, they get tangled. The fish, they get tangled up in this stuff. There is such a trash heap out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The trash pile is so big, it's the size of the state of friggin' New York. It's almost the size of the state of friggin' New York. It's called the Great Garbage Dump of the Pacific Ocean. It is so huge. It's the size almost of the state of New York. Go look at the state of New York. Go ahead. Go look at the state of New York. There's trash out in the Pacific Ocean approaching Australia, just south of Hawaii, approaching all those islands out there. The ships have got to go around it because if they go through it, their propellers and it gets it's terrible. They got this black these buoys with these nets, and it goes all the way around this thing. It is huge. I mean, it is massive. People don't even know about this. It's just floating along, and they can't do anything about it. They can't clean it up. They can't clean it up fast enough. It's so massive. It's just floating along. And it's getting closer to the Pacific coastline of the North American continent. So we got to stop the plastic bag stuff. So I'm on 67. I'm yes. The measures, anytime they want money, anytime there's measures on our ballots here in California, that means the suckers just want my money. So no on M and no on A. Okay, so there we go. That took a lot longer than I anticipated. But I wanted to go over it because I think it's important. Get this big book and read it. It's really a big book. It's all about voter and what we're doing here, the general election book. It's 222 pages. Please get it, study it, and read it. Okay? All right. So lots of stuff going on in the news, lots of stuff going on socially, lots of stuff happening with Trump and Clinton. Lots of stuff. You know, the media basically is now just written Trump off. And a lot of people are. I'm not. I think he still has a chance to win. I don't believe these polls to the degree that they're absolute. The Gallup poll, for instance, they stopped doing polls on the presidential elections a few years ago because they were just so inconsistent. They just their science wasn't working. It was always wrong. So they kind of just pulled from the presidential. They still do a lot of polls, Gallup does, but not for the president. That's why you haven't seen any Gallup polls for the president this year. But so I think these polls are slanted tremendously. The amount of people that they slice and dice to figure out and mathematically put it together to get some percentage, I think it's wrong. There's no way for the early vote to poll that short of somebody coming out from an early vote situation and asking them, and you can't because many of it is by mail, by internet, by online, and also here in California, you can't do any of that yet, but you can go down and early vote right now at a couple places. But it's still not a consistent absolute science. Though some polls that got Clinton way ahead by 12%, there are other polls that got Trump ahead by 2%. So what poll is right? What poll is not right? I think it's CNN polls and Fox polls and ABC and NBC polls. They're all different, okay? There's no doubt that she's ahead. There's no doubt, but I don't believe that she's ahead by the degree that they say. Reagan and Carter, first go-round. Reagan was way behind Carter on the polls. I mean, we're talking like, Reagan was so far behind, they were writing him off. And he won. And he won by an overwhelming degree. So the polls aren't always right. You can just throw away the media. Mainstream media, just toss it away. It is so slanted, and it'll give you the slant that you want to hear. All right? It'll give you the slant. For me, it's real simple. I cannot vote for somebody who is a corrupt person and has taken so much money in the Clinton Foundation illegally and has done nothing for the intention of what it was done for. If my nonprofit organization did that, I would be under federal audit, IRS audit, FBI audit, and I would be in jail for a long, long time. Okay? So that's the thing. They are so powerful, the Clintons. They are so powerful, along with the Bushes, who, I always say that because I am Republican, but sometimes I'm independent. I'm more down the road in a lot of things. But, they're both the most criminal families, political families that this country's seen in the last 50 years. Okay? And I just cannot vote for somebody who's a liar. Just can't do it. The WikiLeaks stuff, it's just too overwhelming. It's too overwhelming. That was never meant for us to be looking at, but it is now being looked at by us, so it gives us some insight that we never had before. And it's almost so overwhelming it's hard to believe. So there's no way. Absolutely not. I would rather have a business person, flawed as he is, be our president. Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. Neither one of them as president is going to ultimately be able to do everything that they say right now. They're just going to be able to do a slice of what they say and propose. These are all proposals. The government is not going to allow it to happen. The House, the senatorial, and the judicial branch are not going to allow it to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. And the money behind these people are not going to allow them to have free reign. It's not going to happen. All right? So either one of them are going to be under massive checks and balances. The argument is Obama didn't get everything he wanted. And if he would have got everything he wanted, we'd be in a hunky-dory fairy tale land. We would be in Shangri-La. Oh, my goodness. It would be like, heaven on earth if Obama got what he wanted. The fact is he didn't. Okay? The fact is neither did Bush. The fact is neither did Clinton. The fact is neither did Bush. The fact is neither did Reagan. The fact is neither did Carter, or Ford, Nixon, LBJ, and JFK. About the only guy who got most everything he wanted was FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, during World War II. In fact, he was going to be king forever and have his children be king and queen. He was in his fourth term when he died at the end of World War II. The rule that a president only gets 2 terms was enacted by Congress and the Senate after FDR died because they felt he had too much power. There was so much angst against him, he would have just continued on. He was going into his 4th term. He blew off the custom set up by Washington, only 2 terms. Every president from that point on up to FDR followed that custom. FDR blew it off. That egocentric, maniacal maniac who got us into World War II, that's a whole nother argument. All right? But he did a good job because that stopped the Depression. And this is what I'm about to say. We better be very careful here. We better be very careful because this country economically is in some serious, serious problems. This country socially is in some serious problems. This country spiritually is in some serious, serious problems. This country educationally is in some serious problems. This country militarily is in some serious problems. We have some serious, serious things going on at a federal level that have never been all happening at the same point in time, all at once. And we have a whole bunch of people that we don't like out there in the world. And there's a whole bunch of people in the world that don't like us. And we are in some major, major financial economic strains right now. Oh, you might be doing a little better. You might be doing great. But for the most part, there's 109 million people in this country. A third of the population is on some sort of government assistance. Go check that fact out. Go to the debtclock.com. You'll see all the numbers. It's frightening. Here's the point. The only thing that gets us out of massive depression and puts people back to work and changes the dynamic of a country's income is war. That, since the Civil War, has been something that has changed the dynamic of this country every time. Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and after the dropping of the trade towers, this whole Middle Eastern silliness that we got ourselves involved in, all because of money and power, control, and greed. And I'll tell you, folks, be careful what you ask for. Be careful, because we're at that line right now in this country. Oh, we'll never have a World War III, because it would blow the smithereens out of this planet and God's blue-green earth. But we're going to be engaged in skirmishes around this planet on 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different fronts. And frankly, folks, we can't do that because we don't have the military to support it anymore. We can't govern the 7 seas anymore. We got enough Navy ships to put 2 platforms of full Navy ships out there. That's 2 seas. During Reagan, we had almost 600 ships. During Obama, because of sequestration and all that stuff, they're cutting back. We have 289 ships. We get down to 262, we can't do nothing. So our military is pressed to the limit. And now with this thing in California where the National Guard, they gave them $15,000 to $20,000 to extend their tours, and now they're taking it back. That's so corrupt. It's corruption at its finest. When are you folks going to get it? Government is corrupted. And when are you going to say, stand up and you're going to say, no more corruption, no more lies, no more? When are you going to do that? Who's it going to be? If it's not Trump, is it ever going to be anybody? I have this argument all the time. Oh, education. It doesn't work because nobody's educating anybody about civics. We talked about that last week. Judge Souter, Supreme Court Justice, said when your country loses its civics morality, it loses itself to be a republic. When are we going to get it? When are we going to figure out liars, backstabbers, cheaters, power-hungry, greedy people that will do anything just to stay in power? When are we going to get it? When are we going to understand that it's corrupt? How many lies are we going to take? For me, I ain't taking it anymore. I'm voting Trump. At least it's an outsider, and he's a businessman. The Jesse T Show, live at 5, right here, Monday through Friday. What can I tell you? God's blue-green earth, we're on the air and everywhere, from the community to the world, at www.thepowervoices.com and Global Radio Network, AVTV Live, and the digital TV network. We're going galactic, and we want you to tell everybody about it. Thanks a lot for chiming in with us. Alatino, Maria, M, Brian, Isaiah, Ignacio, everybody, thank you. Rona Mona, Rona Mona, I love you, Rona Mona. Hey, I let you go. You're outside the door of the world according to Torero. And you've been straight on the point. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See ya.